everyone. So we are doing another session of chair yoga, office yoga, whatever you like to call it. I've got a slightly different venue today. I've just been recording a Zoom session here at my yoga studio in Bude, so I've just stayed up and used the props here. That's normally where my laptop goes when I'm filming. So we're going to, again, work our way through some twists and some movements that we can make to release the body. So coming from here position, we're going to open up. So the first thing we can do is, just to begin with, again, just like we did the other day, is to take the elbows back over the back of the chair, maybe this time, and lift up your chin to the ceiling, lift the hands away from you to get that good stretch through the shoulders. Give yourself a little hug. And just go back and do it again. Maybe move the head around a little bit. We can do the same twists we did the other day. One hand on the knee, the other hand on the chair behind you, sitting up nice and tall, going round to the other side. You can either stay in one position for a handful of breaths, or you can move with your breath. So you inhale, you come round to your twist, you exhale, you release. Inhale, you go round to your twist, exhale, you release. So just choose whatever seems to work for you, okay? What we can do, I'm actually going to move my chair sideways. I want you just to move sideways in your chair. Obviously if you've got arms in your office chair, then you're going to have to do what I'm going to do, which is to move my chair around. Okay, so the first thing is we're just going to cross one leg over the other. Take your hands over to the front of that top knee, and we're just going to lean in. So the whole point here is to bring the belly to the thigh and to almost imagine you're bringing your sternum over where your knee is. And then slowly come back out. And do that a few more times. I'll just turn sideways. The important part here really is not to kind of round through the back and bring your chin to the knee. It's to fold here, it's to keep this little back bend going on and to fold. Bring the belly to the thighs and keep looking forward slightly. Maybe down to the floor, but keep the chin in. So again, we're not dropping the head down, we're not collapsing. There's no prize for getting your nose on the knee. It's all about getting this lovely stretch across the lower back. Coming back out of it, and then of course we cross the other leg over and do exactly the same thing. So in theory, the knee that's on top or in front, is getting a slightly deeper stretch through the thigh and the buttocks. See if you can feel that. Slowly come out, lengthen up even more. Imagine you're trying to get your ribs over your kneecap now. So we're really getting that length and that stretch through the lower back. Perfect. Slowly and gently come back to centre. Excellent. So you're going to widen your feet. We're going to take our hands onto our knees. Toes are going to be pointing forwards rather than out. We do something in a moment, but for now, keep the toes pointing forwards. And the movement we're doing is almost what we call cat-cow, if you're familiar with your yoga poses at all. We do one where we round the back up, and then we arch the back. It's a great flexion for the spinal column, but it also engages the muscles of the core and the waist and the back as well. So the idea is that you kind of lift up, you get a little arch in your back, and as you do that, you fold forwards. And then you're going to drop the head down, you're going to chin to chest, draw the navel in, and you round yourself back up. Exhale, lengthen, let the chest come down, let the chest and the collarbone be the furthest most point of your body, then you draw the navel in, coming up. So again, if I just turn sideways, that may make that movement a little bit more obvious. So we're arching through the back as you fold forwards, and then we round through the back, we draw the chin in, you feel yourself coming right the way up. So you're almost making a kind of an oval shape. One more time, arching the back, looking up, hear the stretch of my voice, slowly, gently folding down, draw the navel in, and come back up to sitting. And then we reverse that, right? So then you're going to round down, lift the head up, and as the head lifts up, then the body lifts up. So we're keeping the head totally high. So almost imagine you're looking right down to the floor. You're going to find an imaginary line on the floor. You're going to follow it as it goes away to the wall, up the wall to the ceiling, and then coming back up. One more time, rounding down. Really feel the flexion, especially in the lumbar spine. Slowly and gently come back up. Perfect. Excellent. Well done. So we're still seated with our legs wide, and we're going to turn the toes out now. I call this my apple picking. You're going to reach up with your left hand, reach right back behind you, and there's a bucket round by the right foot. So you're going to put that apple in the bucket. You're going to reach up again, and then put that apple in the bucket. So you're going to reach up and take the shoulder right back, so you're really opening here in the front of your chest and coming back down. Change sides, reaching up with the right arm, stretching back, putting the apple in the bucket by your left foot. Reaching up, and again, feel this stretch here. Slowly coming back down, one last time. Fabulous, slowly come back up. Bring the fingertips to your shoulders, bring those knees back in again. We can just do a few little circles. Try to keep the elbows quite high, that's their kind of midpoint. We drop down, we lift up over that midpoint, 3 circles in each direction, keeping them out as wide as you can. So rather than kind of doing your circles in front, let's get them back here. These pectoralis minor muscles, if you can feel them, bring the arm back. There's the tightness from the top of your humerus bone, your upper arm bone, to the ribs. Those are one of the pairs of muscles that as they get tight, they get this rounded shoulder. So keep the arms back as you do this movement. Okay, we're going to take elbow to the opposite knee. Elbow to the opposite knee. Lift it right back up and over. Up, over to the opposite knee. Inhale, coming back over. And just do that 2 more times on both sides. So we're exhaling, makes sense, we're squeezing the tummy out, we're inhaling, we're opening up through this pectoralis minor muscle as we come back. Inhale and over, and one last time. And perfect, and just relax, fabulous. So remember, the muscles in the front of your body, the more time they spend tight and short, the more that wants to be their default mode. Okay, so we have to remind them how lengthened they can be. We've got muscles down the side of our body. Serratus anterior comes forwards around the ribs, posterior goes around the back. As again, the posterior muscles stretch, anterior muscles in the front get tight. So we have to lift up through the chest. So make sure you've got enough room, because we're going to do some kind of rowing movements here, okay? We're going to reach forwards, coming forwards as far as you can, and then come back. Really lean back into the chair. Coming forwards and backwards. And don't be shy here. Really imagine you're gripping hold of something in front of you. Coming back. So again, if I just turn sideways, we're going forwards here, and then we come back, arching up through, lift up through the chest. Forwards, coming back, just like a rowing motion. Perfect, maybe just a few more, because this is good for the arms. Again, keeping the elbows shoulder height, try not to drop them down. Fabulous, and just release. Coming around, so that again, I'm coming around. Imagine if you're seated in the chair sideways, if you've got room, it's totally fine. You don't have to move the chair out too much. A few little shoulder rolls. Fabulous. We're going to bring one of your ankles onto the opposite knee. Sitting up as tall as you can. So again, I will actually turn around this side just so you can see. So rather than kind of leaning back, which would be much easier, the idea is that we sit up as tall as we can. Now, if your hips are open, this knee's going to be dropping down a bit more than mine is. Mine feel quite tight. So sitting up as tall as you can, maybe leaning forwards, again, as if you're always thinking about trying to bring the rib cage over, because that gives us the length in the front of your body. Slowly and gently come back. And we're going to go to the other side. So again, for those of you familiar with your yoga practice, this is very similar to our pigeon pose. So again, immediately, again, well, that's okay, you're leaning back in the chair, that's right, it's not too intense. Sit up. Sometimes that's all we need to do to get that, wow, okay, now we can really feel it in that hip. And then maybe even lean forwards if you feel that you can. Just bring the chest forwards, try not to let the ribs come down to the hips, keep that space there. And then slowly and gently, and release. Fabulous. So we just spent just a couple of seconds, less than 10 minutes, okay? That could be when you know, somebody's going to make you a cup of coffee, hopefully. Maybe you're going to make a cup of coffee, waiting for it to cool down. Get the whole office involved if you can. You know, have a designated, okay guys, you know, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, we're going to stop work, we're going to turn our chairs around, we're going to do a little bit of stretching and breathing and twisting, and then we get back in. Always remember to breathe when you're doing these as well. I haven't mentioned the breath, I'm going to go into that a bit more next time. Breath is really important. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a little bit of something. I hope if you've been doing it with me, you feel some of the stretching, the opening, the releasing. And remember, every now and again, when you feel yourself coming forwards, just take a few breaths to lift yourself back up. Have a great afternoon, guys. Take care. Bye.